Hey everybody, look on the screen. I'm gonna play this video. This lady had a wedding, and I was like, oh my gosh, the dress is so beautiful. The ceremony, just oh my gosh, it's awesome. And then there was another lady there. She was older, and I said, listen, I know, because she's been divorced too. And I said, listen, I know. I said, it's what happens after the wedding. I said, yeah, that's the major thing. And so my homeboy, my friend, he goes, yeah, he goes, weddings are fun. He goes, yeah, weddings are fun. He said, but the marriage is something totally, totally different. That I concur. And it's like, I want you to listen to what this young lady has to say. This is why a lot of ladies, and I believe in family, but this is why a lot of ladies are staying single. Okay. So without further ado, check it out.
I was telling him like, hey, we don't need to do a nasty divorce, but like you do need to like give me some money to go on about my way because I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past year and a half, and I don't have anything to show for that year where I could have been earning money. I was at home taking care of us. Like you got to work because of my sacrifice, so I deserve something.
Yep.
And like nothing unreasonable, but just something so that I can breathe, so that I'm not like paycheck to paycheck, literally. And he told me, he said, and I also said that yeah, I didn't work, like I provided value because I gave birth to two children and I raised them, and I helped with family life. And his answer was, what you did, that's not how value works. What you didn't have any value because there was a lot of women who wanted to give me kids. I could have had kids with anybody, but you can't just run out and go find a man to provide for you any day of the week. So
Wow. So he's letting her know her sacrifice, her time, raising his not one kid, two children. It didn't provide any value. And did you hear what she said? The part about yeah, she has basically provided a home life. Okay, she's provided a home life so he can have that career. Think about it. He's going to work. He comes home to, I'm sure, food, a clean home, the children well taken care of, bathed, I'm assuming. And now she's leaving. He doesn't want to pay her anything.
Telling him like, hey, we don't need to do a nasty divorce, but like you do need to like give me some money to go on about my way because I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past year and a half, and I don't have anything to show for that year where I could have been earning money. I was at.
And stop and think about it. What can she put on her resume? Well, the past 2 years, I've been staying at home, raising children. I'm very good with toddlers, cooking and cleaning, taking care of my husband. So, how does that fit into the job market? And look at the job market now. If people that have education, and she may have her education, but if people that have experience, you've been 2 years out of the workforce. Being realistic, it's not looking good for anybody. 2026 is what the year, based on financial news reports that I've read, the year of the hiring freeze. They said that last year in 2025. So yeah, what can she put on her resume? That she's been taking care of children. Oh, you've been out of it. Women that have been working, men and women, they have their experience, but you've been staying at home.
About my way because I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past year and a half, and I don't have anything to show for that year where I could have been earning money. I was at home taking care of us. Like you got to work because of my sacrifice, so I deserve something.
Exactly.
And like nothing unreasonable, but just something so that I can breathe, so that I'm not like paycheck to paycheck, literally. And he told me, he said, and I also said that yeah, I didn't work, but like I provided value because I gave birth to two children and I raised them, and I helped with family life. And his answer was, what you did, that's not how value works. What you didn't have any value because there was a lot of women who wanted to give me kids.
So And especially for a woman in my community, you put your life on the line. You sat up here and gave birth to two children, and he is saying that what you did does not add value. The fact that you are raising his two kids while he could go to work and come home to family life, he's letting her know it didn't add value. Then he throws up, there are other women that want to give me kids. So basically, I hate to tell you, he knows it takes money. He knows the sacrifice that she's made. Here's the other part. Again, what do my friends say? Weddings are fun. Yeah, they're fun. There's dancing and drinking and hey, the beautiful dresses and ooh and ah. Yeah, weddings are fun, but the marriage is something else. And you want to know what's really, really something else? When the marriage deteriorates and it doesn't work out, guess what? You're going to find out you're getting ready to see a whole new person in your spouse. In most cases, I'm willing to bet you 99.9% you're going to see a whole new person. She probably never saw this happening. Probably never saw it coming. And you wonder why a lot of women, no, they're going to play it smart and live their lives and be single because quite often this is what you get. The sad reality when it doesn't work out. And then when you find yourself dependent on that man with children, let me tell you something. A different him might surface where basically he's just hogging it all. He feels he can treat you any kind of what you're going to do. You don't have any money, you can't go anywhere. So a lot of smart women are staying single. I'm not saying, of course, I believe in family. I'm married. I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just letting women know. Our mothers didn't have the internet. The information is out there. A lot of women are seeing it and they're like, no, that's okay. Some women, they get married, divorce doesn't work out, and then they move on with their lives. They won't do it again because they've already experienced that. And it's understandable. Some women that haven't, they want to experience marriage and the white dress and all that. I totally get it. But this is a part you have to consider, and like the video on my Patreon, she says, I'm getting married. And I said, you are a fool because that whole setup was just crazy to me. And maybe I should have chose a different word, but sometimes you just have to call it like it is. You just, and that's what I did. So maybe I shouldn't have said that you are a fool. But what she was telling me, this is sounding like, as they say back in the day, a fooly wang mess. I just, girl, I cannot with you. But yeah, so he doesn't even value it. What she did doesn't add any value. So I guess he wants her to suffer. And how can she work? And of course she doesn't have a job. Been raising kids a year and a half. Do you know how much daycare is? Do you know how much daycare is? So how do you start over with no money, no income, and two kids to boot? Takes money to move. Secure the next place. And this happens to women of all cultures, regardless of race. I've heard women from the dominant coast talking about he turned the utilities off. What? With them and the kid, with the wife and the kids in the house, turn the utilities off. Why? The man wants you to suffer. This is why a lot of single women, they're into their careers. They're like, nope, they're staying single. They can live their lives and do as they please because when you get married, your whole dynamics change from a couple, as I said before the video. Sometimes a man wants you because you're single and with no kids. You can even get married and they're like, oh my goodness, now she's all about the kid, not all about me. Oh my God, it's all about the kid. She's not fun anymore. Well, hell, real life is taking over. Yeah, real life is taking over. So he doesn't see the added value. This is why a lot of women are saying they're going to play it smart and live their lives. They're not going to take a chance because unfortunately, this happens a lot. It happens a whole lot.
Answer was, what you did, that's not how value works. What you did didn't have any value because there was a lot of women who wanted to give me kids. I could have had kids with anybody.
Wow.
But you can't just run out and go find a man to provide for you any day of the week. So me providing for you was more valuable than you giving me two children.
Wow. He said, me providing for you was more valuable than you giving me through children. And that's the thing too. People say, oh my goodness, look what has happened. I can't believe this. Got a news flash. They do not care. It's just facts. Newsflash, they do not care. They don't care about the kids. He's already putting his financial contribution above the value of his children's lives, whether you want to face it or not. He's like, that's not any value. So what you gave me kids? How can they love the kids and hurt the mother? They don't. And that's the part a lot of women don't want to face. How can they love the kids and hurt the mother? This is why, again, a lot of women are saying, no, I'm single, I'm happy, I got my own place, I can just take care of myself, I don't have to. Sure, they can want companionship, and they can still have that. That's the whole thing about it. People think like they're silly. No, they can entertain a man. Catch me if you can, and he can go. They don't want him there full time. That's the part they don't understand. Like, let us sit up there, oh, lonely. No, they were entertained men, but they're keeping their space. Then you're not going to be all up in their place like this. There's no change in the keys. Nah, 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 nah. Because things like this happen. So a lot of women, they're playing that they are single. Man, I've seen them single. No man, got their career looking good. They're traveling the world having a good time. They're not trying to trade it in, changing the whole landscape of your life because of a man, even if it's the form of a husband. And especially if he can't come up with some kind of he's with an allowance. Well, he can't afford that. Then the worst thing you can do, I beg of you, is to sit up here. I don't care if you are married and have a whole bunch of kids by that man. That's one of the worst things you can do. Slow your roll. It can change any day of the week. Why do you think so many women are sitting up here homeless with children? He won't even take the kids. Women sleeping in their vans, in cars with children. Is he staying around to bring you down? Some men can really hate women even though that they will marry one. So let me know what y'all think about this. Unbelievable. I wish her the best. Just watching the video, I can tell she's hurting. Poppy's still in shock. It's exhausting, and she has to live through this, navigate it. And so he gets to walk away. He's experienced family life, and he has all his money. How does she start over? And you have two kids, and if she's sent a year and a half, that lets me know those kids are real, real young, and you can't leave your kids just with anybody. Yeah. So some smart women, they're saying, nah, they're gonna go ahead and stay single. They're enjoying the mingle, and I get it. Let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out.